Yeah, I've been sitting back all summer, listening to the conversation surrounding Lamar Jackson and his contract situation. I made a video a few days ago regarding this whole concept of him betting on himself if he doesn't sign an extension before the season starts. And my opinion of that was that he wouldn't necessarily be betting on himself. It'd just be that he's honoring the contract that he already signed. And to me, I think that's real positive. It's a positive vibe, and it puts good karma on his side, so to speak. You know, he's doing something honorable and righteous, even though I wouldn't do it because it's a dirty game. The NFL owners, you know, they play dirty. When it's time, when you're no longer any good for them anymore, they get rid of you. So you should be able to hold out and negotiate better terms for yourself and more security. You should get to the bag, so to speak. I felt like after his MVP season, he should have held out. You know, even though it was only his second season with the team, I don't care. You hold out. You look at DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf, I think he's only been with Seattle 2 years. He told them guys what he wanted. He threatened to hold out. They gave him an extension. So you have to use your leverage when you have it. It's real powerful. But speaking of negotiating the contract, there's also talk about Lamar not having an agent. And a lot of fans are really rooting for Lamar to get this contract. And but I think it's something, and it's a lot of people in the media, talking heads in the media, speaking about him deserving, you know, this big money. This is where the market is. This is what the market is set at. His floor should be where Deshaun Watson's contract ends. That should be Lamar's floor. And I understand all those viewpoints, but one thing that's not being talked about in the media, and maybe I'm reaching, maybe it's a little far-fetched, but I think media is kind of afraid to really address it, or they don't want to talk about it because it shines light on what's really going on in terms of the industry and everything that we're being entertained by in terms of sports. One thing about it is I believe there's a network, and I believe that a lot of these agents and GMs, they have relationships. I believe that wholeheartedly. A lot of these guys come from different alumni associations, different colleges they graduated from. I believe they break bread. I think they have dinner. And one important element to all of it is that being a sports agent, that's an industry. Representing sport athletes, being an agent is an industry. Okay, LeBron James, he has a company, Clutch Sports, you know, ran by two of his close friends, you know, Maverick Carter and Rich Paul. That's a sports agency, Clutch. Jay-Z, he has Rock Nation. That's a sports agency. Now, if Lamar represents himself, he's cutting out the agent. Now, this may be a stretch, but this is just my viewpoint on the whole situation. I'm really interested to see if a quarterback, the most prestigious position in all of sports, can actually negotiate a contract which is going to put him more than likely at the highest paid. He's going to be the highest paid, and it's going to set a precedent across the NFL. Can a quarterback do that without having an agent? Will Lamar Jackson will the Baltimore Ravens really sign him to the highest paid contract in the league without him having an agent? And the reason I ask that question, because it sets a precedent. Not only does it set a precedent for the NFL, it could possibly set a precedent across all of sports. You're talking about possibly changing the landscape, because you're talking about Lamar already being a polarizing figure. His name is always in the media. They've been talking about him all summer, and his contract has become a big deal, a big talking point. If he signs this deal with no agent and it puts him at being the highest paid quarterback, you're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars. It's going to get a lot of press. It's going to be in the news. And, you know, however way we want to look at this thing, as human beings, You know, we're made to be infectious. So what I mean by that is, a lot of times it's monkey see, monkey do. You have a lot of kids looking up to Lamar and watching these sports figures, and they get inspired by these guys, and they want to mimic some of the things they do and some of the moves they make. Well, if Lamar lands this contract and it puts him at being the highest paid player in the NFL, and it's possibly going to rival other contracts in other sports, you're going to have kids now coming out of college, coming out of school saying, I want to do like Lamar did. I don't want an agent. And now you set a precedent that you may start to see the decline of sports agents. And now you're talking about eliminating a whole industry. I'm not sure if the NFL wants to set that precedent. And I also believe that the NFL may feel obligated to other sports, other leagues, and also the agency itself to keep that industry alive. You know, it's a lot of people in high places. They do things for each other, and they make sure, you know, one another is always able to eat. And the last thing I think the NFL wants to do right now is to have Lamar Jackson land a big contract without having a sports agent. Because now you're talking about a precedent that's going to have ramifications throughout all of sports. It's just my thoughts. I could be reaching a little bit. Before I end this video, I want to share something with you guys, whoever sees this video. This is my book. It's my memoir. It's entitled Trauma, My Love Letter to the World. I'm going to put the link to the book in the description. You guys can cop this book. If you're interested in the memoir, interested in memoirs, it's on Amazon.com. I'm going to preface the work by giving you a brief description of the work. She saw my affection as aggression. How could she misinterpret my love? After 2 nights of intimacy, a beautiful exchange became distorted. I found myself under attack. I couldn't understand what happened. I thought, where was this coming from? When you've been a victim of sexual assault, the line between force and passion becomes unclear. Fear, sexual curiosity, personal struggles, heartbreak, and sexual addiction inflicted trauma onto Clayton. Unbeknownst to him, his inequity led him to a grand awakening. He realized the traumas he suffered were his most wondrous gift. I got inspired to write this book, fam, because I got tired of projecting my trauma onto others and have people have to deal with my bullshit, and I got tired of dealing with other people's bullshit. This is pretty much my plea to a lot of people to let's find our way to healing. I also talk about how we can heal and overcome these traumas, and for the most part, so we can actually have better relationships and more healthy relationships within our community and with each other. So that's what inspired me to write this memoir. It's real, it's transparent. If you guys are into something that's absolutely transparent and real, you know, this is the book for you. It's no cut, no filter. It's just raw, you know, and it's an extremely great read, and it's absolutely a powerful memoir. It's powerful and inspirational, and I'll actually shine light on the path to healing. So with that, man, you guys know what to do. If you like the video, if you like the content, you know, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate the support. And the link will be in the description for my memoir, Trauma, My Love Letter to the World. Support the book, support the effort. Y'all have a good one. Peace.